The courtroom was silent, except for the judge's chuckle. "You? An attorney?" He sneered, eyes filled with disbelief as he glared at the teenager standing nervously before him. Everyone in the room thought it was a joke, a child trying to play, a grown-up's role. But no one knew what was coming. What this teenager was about to do would not only shock the judge, but also change how everyone in the courtroom saw talent, determination, and genius. How could a teen, underestimated by everyone, turn the tables in a room full of adults? It was an ordinary morning in a small-town courthouse. Alex Carter, just 17, had walked the polished hallways countless times, but today was different. Normally quiet and reserved, Alex had spent years studying law in secret, devouring books, cases, and courtroom strategies while his classmates focused on games and social media. He dreamed of standing in front of real judges, not just debating in school clubs. His opportunity arrived unexpectedly. A local civil case needed urgent representation, and the assigned attorney couldn't make it. Alex, already familiar with the case's details, stepped in under the guidance of a mentor who trusted his abilities. The courtroom smelled of polished wood and tension as he approached the bench. The judge, a seasoned man with decades of experience, barely concealed his amusement. A teenager? Here? In this courtroom? No one had taken Alex seriously. Yet, the hearing began, and the judge's smirk grew. "Do you even understand procedure?" he asked, almost mocking. Alex's hand shook slightly, but his mind was steady. He opened his notebook, citing case law, precedents, and facts with precision. The courtroom murmured. Witnesses were impressed. Lawyers exchanged uneasy glances. Minutes passed, and Alex's arguments gained momentum. Each point he cut through the assumptions about his age. The judge tried to interrupt, tried to challenge him with complex questions. But Alex anticipated every twist. He spoke with clarity, confidence, and a depth of understanding that no one expected. People started leaning forward, realizing this was no ordinary teenager. Tension peaked when the opposing counsel, expecting an easy win, tried to dismiss Alex's statements. Calmly, Alex presented a legal precedent that perfectly contradicted their claim. The courtroom went silent. Even the judge, initially amused, now frowned. This was no child's play. Every objection Alex made was met with logic, poise, and an uncanny ability to think 2 steps ahead. By the end of the first hour, whispers spread. Is he really a teen? How does he know all this? Every eye in the room had shifted from doubt to awe. The judge slammed his gavel, exasperated. Enough. I've seen enough. But how is this possible? His voice was a mix of disbelief and respect. Alex stood tall, calmly removing his jacket and revealing a mentor's badge. Tucked inside, a symbol that he had been studying and preparing under a licensed attorney's guidance. He delivered the final argument, tying the facts, laws, and human stakes together in a way that left no room for doubt. The courtroom held its breath. Even the opposing counsel nodded silently, unable to argue against the brilliance unfolding. The judge leaned back, eyes wide, realizing that his mockery had underestimated not just a teen, but a prodigy capable of navigating the complexities of law with uncanny precision. When Alex finished, the room erupted into murmurs of astonishment. A teen who was mocked, underestimated, and doubted had flipped the narrative entirely. Justice was served, not only in the case, but in proving that age does not define capability. The judge, once scoffing, now shook Alex's hand with genuine respect. "I misjudged you," he admitted, his tone sincere. The courtroom applauded, not just for the victory in the case, but for the story of determination, preparation, and courage that Alex had written that day. Word spread quickly. The media picked up the story, highlighting a teenager's incredible intellect and poise. Alex became a symbol of what's possible when talent, hard work, and persistence collide. He inspired countless others to pursue their dreams, regardless of age, background, or the doubts of those around them. The case wasn't just about winning in court, it was about proving that brilliance can come from the most unexpected places. Alex's story reminds us all, never underestimate someone based on appearances, and never let mockery define your path. Sometimes, the smallest voice carries the loudest truth.